Hello everyone. Today we are going to go through birthday cake cancel, which is a problem on the problem solving of HackerRank. So without wasting time, let us have a look on the problem statement. So here's the problem statement. You are in charge of the cake for the child's birthday. You have decided the cake will have one candle for each year of their total age. They will only be able to blow out the tallest of the candle. How many candles are tallest? So here we have a representation where we have candle and we have to count the number of tallest candle. If you want to interpret this in our algorithm world, we are going to say we have an array of elements and we want to count the number of occurrence of the biggest element of our array. For instance, this array we have 4, 5, 1, 3. The biggest element is 4, so we need to count the number of occurrence of 4, which is 2. That is why we have 2 here. And the same year, the number of the biggest element is 3, and the number of occurrence of 3 is 2. That is why we have 2. So without wasting time, let us talk about the approach. How are we going to implement such an algorithm? So the first thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna read all the variables. After that, we are going to declare a maximum value that will store the first element. And why going through the array? If we find an element which is greater than our current maximum, we are going to reset our counter to 1 and we are going to change our maximum. If we see an element which is equal to our maximum, we are going to increment our counter. So without wasting time, let us implement what we just described as approach. So here we have our function. Sorry, no why. Checking that. So here's the input. We have the size of the array and the element of the array. So we need to have this. Once we have this, we can create a vector here. With size s and s. So now here we have our array. Well, like we said, we need to have a maximum that we are going to initiate to the first element of the array. Then we have our counter that we are going to initiate as 1. And the year we need to have an array. What we said is that if the occurrence where we are is greater than our maximum, we have a logic to do. We say our maximum now gonna take the max element and our counter gonna take 1. Otherwise, if our array is equal to our maximum, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna increment CP, and at the end CP will have the size of the number of occurrences of the biggest element, so we can output it here and then we are done. So let us run and see what it gives. We have train set of 2. We are starting from 0. We need to start from 1 here, because we need to start from 1 because the first element is already here. So if you start from 0 and the first element is one of the maximum, you're gonna have a wrong result. Okay, cool, congratulations. So let us submit. Everything will be green, and after the submission, cool, everything is green. So you see, this is basically about getting the number of occurrence of the biggest element. So there are built-in function that can help you have this without doing all this stuff. So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna write it here like this. There is this count function that helps you count the number of occurrences of a given element. And to have you need to specify the beginning of the array you want to count from and the end of the array you want to count from. And the last element should be the element you want to count. And we are going to use max element, which will return the maximum element of our array. So here is it. We have I said it was count, not say out. So we can just see out this. So this is doing basically the same thing as our previous loop. So we are counting the number of, the first thing we are doing is that we are fetching the maximum element, and this function returns a pointer to the maximum element. That's why we have a star here, the maximum element of our array, and we count the number of occurrence of this element, which is our maximum element, which is exactly what we're doing with the for loop. So with this, we are supposed to have the same result. Let us run and see what it gives. We have a congratulations. Let us submit. So here are the two approaches where I went through to solve this problem. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to leave me a comment if you enjoy it. If you have a remark, I will really be happy having those. So stay tuned for the next video. Ciao.